afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Wednesday. It is July 1st.
Happy July.
2020 is half over.
That's right. Let's hope it's better the second half.
Let's hope so. I don't know if it could be much worse. Let's get to it. Here's what's making news on this Wednesday. As cases in Dane County continue to jump, health officials are enforcing new restrictions to stop the spread.
Madison police say they are looking for a suspect in an East Side motel shooting.
And local lawmakers are trying to protect statues a week after two statues were torn down outside of the Capitol. But we start with breaking news just into the Channel 3000 Alert Center. Madison police say they are investigating a homicide near North Sherman Avenue. Witnesses say they saw two vehicles driving on East Bluff Road around 2:40 this afternoon, with at least one person firing a gun from one at the other. Officers found a man dead in one of the cars. We'll have more on this on Channel 3000 and on News 3 Now later newscast. Dane County will limit gatherings at bars and restaurants following a surge of positive coronavirus cases.
The changes will take effect tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Adam Duxter joins us live from downtown Madison with what's leading local officials to make this decision. Adam?
Well, Mark and Susan, public health officials in Dane County say it's not just the surge in cases over the last 3 weeks, but also the rise in community spread, which just in the last 2 weeks' time has jumped from 24% to 37%. And it's because of this that health officials say they'll be issuing those new restrictions, limiting indoor gatherings to just 10 people and outdoor gatherings to just 25. Now, some things like gyms and hair salons can stay operating at 50% capacity, but restaurants and bars will take the biggest change, going back to just 25% capacity for restaurants and bars, not able to operate anything other than takeout. Now, public health officials say roughly 50% of positive cases in the recent spike have been linked to bars. The average age of positive cases is 23.
When this pandemic began, I said there would be a beginning, a middle, and an end. Unfortunately, we are likely not even quite yet to the middle of this event. But just because we're tired of it doesn't mean it's any less dangerous or contagious than it was in March.
Tonight, the Tavern League of Wisconsin says this order is in direct violation of the state of Wisconsin versus Palm, the ruling that reopened the state back in the middle of May. And they say it's unfair that bars and restaurants are being targeted when many are gathering for protests throughout Madison. However, public health officials say just 12 cases have been linked to protests and demonstrations so far.
Adam Duxter, live downtown. Adam, thank you. Over 450 people, more people have tested positive for COVID-19 in Wisconsin. More than 29,000 people have tested positive since the outbreak began. While hospitalizations have gone down, 2 more people have died in Wisconsin, bringing the total to 789. Since June 1st, 192 people have died from COVID-19. 79% of people who have tested positive have since recovered.
Coronavirus cases continue to rise in the U.S. with more than 45,000 new cases reported over the past 24 hours. The surge has officials worried, and now more states are putting their reopening plans on hold or imposing new restrictions. Chris Martinez has the latest from Los Angeles.
Governor Gavin Newsom is shutting down indoor activities in 19 California counties for at least 3 weeks because of a serious escalation in coronavirus cases.
Restaurants, wineries, and tasting rooms, movie theaters, family entertainment, zoos, museums, and card rooms in this state.
The order includes shutting down bars and beach parking lots.
The move covers 70% of California's 40 million residents and comes as the governor says hospitalizations in the state have risen 51% in the past 2 weeks.
Vice President Mike Pence traveled to coronavirus hotspot Arizona today, where hospitals are hiring out-of-state nurses to help handle overflowing patient loads.
We say to the people of Arizona, we're with you. We're going to make sure that Arizona has whatever it takes to meet this moment, to slow the spread, to flatten the curve, to save lives.
The U.S. Army has quarantined 110 soldiers and instructors who recently participated in a survival training course at Fort Bragg. At least 90 have tested positive for the virus. Starting today, masks are mandatory in Oregon. And New York, once the epicenter of the outbreak in the U.S., is making progress, recording its lowest 5-day hospitalization increase since the pandemic started. But officials are worried complacency will lead to more infections. New York City has put its rollout of indoor dining on indefinite hold.
We're going to work with the state of New York to figure out what is the exact right way to do this.
But New York City beaches opened for the first time today, just in time for the July 4th holiday. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And according to Johns Hopkins, the U.S. recorded more than 44,000 new cases over the past 24 hours. More than 2.6 million Americans have been infected with the virus since the pandemic began. Let's take a look now outside. This is the place to be on a day like today. Out on the water, the heat goes on. Dana is in the patio, slowly melting.
Slowly melting. I'm glistening right now. It's not my best look. I would rather it be a little cooler outside, but it's summer. It certainly feels like summer. Here's a live look with our Edgewater sky cam. Again, a few clouds, but right now we are dry in Madison. A nice breeze actually is helping, and I'm currently in the shade. So we are at 84 degrees in Madison, closer to 86 in Mineral Point. Our dew points, though, are in the mid to low 60s for much of Dane County, higher to the western edge of the state, so it feels several degrees warmer than where our temperatures are at. The western edge of the state, the best opportunity to see a light isolated shower or thunderstorm pop up this evening. Right now the rain is still off into Iowa and the southern edge of Minnesota. That could creep a little further east into parts of Grant County, even Crawford, Richland, Iowa, and Lafayette counties over the next several hours. We aren't expecting any severe weather, but again, we could have just a quick storm come through and then die down over the next several hours. Temperature-wise, we're finally sliding back in the other direction. Overnight, our temperatures will be dropping into the mid to upper 60s. We felt about 64 degrees early this morning. Tomorrow, high temperatures will be in the upper 80s, so similar to today. Very warm and humid outside with another small chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm to develop. As far as our roads are concerned, thankfully, things seem to be pretty smooth on the Beltline right now. This is a look at Gammon Road. We don't have any reports of pavement buckling today, but it's still very warm outside, so it's something that we're going to continue to keep an eye on really for the next several weeks. From Janesville to the Beltline, it will be 25 minutes, 15 minutes from Sauk City to Middleton, and Sun Prairie to downtown, about 9 minutes this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Dana, thank you. Madison police are looking for a suspect who was involved in a fatal shooting at the Red Roof Inn around 8:30 last night on Madison's east side. Police responded to a report of an 18-year-old man who was shot in the back of the head. That man was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police are currently reviewing surveillance video and interviewing witnesses for any leads on this. Police Chief Vic Wall said this was an isolated incident.
It was not a random event, and that the victim and the suspect had a connection and were known to each other. But obviously, we're going to have to continue to flesh out exactly the nature of that connection, and that's what our violent crime unit is doing today.
Anyone with information on this shooting is asked to call Madison Area Crime Stoppers.
The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office has released the name of the person who was found dead in a retention pond in an officer-involved death. Officials say 21-year-old Rodney Freeman Jr. was found dead in the pond near the 500 block of River Place in Monona on Monday. Additional testing is underway, and the death remains under investigation by the Department of Justice and the Dane County Medical Examiner. A group of lawmakers is trying to strengthen the state laws to protect statues like the ones we saw torn down during protests.
Our Amy Reed explains more about what... Okay, I'm sorry, Amy is not there right now, but here's what we can tell you. The bill, which is still in its draft stages, makes it a felony to damage or graffiti any structure, plaque, statue, painting, or other monument of commemorative or historical significance that is on public property or maintained by the government. The proposed legislation is coming after statues were torn down at the Capitol during protests. It has at least 3 bipartisan bipartisan supporters right now, including the state senator who says he was attacked that same night. Current law relating to damage or graffiti to historical property requires the property to be listed on a registry of prominent features in the landscape of state-owned land. But Class 1 felonies also already cover property valued higher than $2,500. We reached out to police to see if what happened to the statues is already covered under state law, but they did not get back to us. If this provision did make it into the law, and it still has many steps to go before then, the penalty for whoever damaged historical property would be up to 3.5 years in prison, a $10,000 fine, or both. The Department of Homeland Security says it is sending rapid deployment teams across the country to protect national monuments and statues ahead of the July 4th weekend, amid calls for the removal of Confederate statues. President Trump created the task force last week with an executive order and tweeted about it this morning, saying, "My executive order to protect monuments and statues is in full force and effect in excess of a 10-year prison term."
There's something troubling about jailing people for what some might understand as minor offenses, and whether or not that is a useful.
Georgetown University professor Soyka Colbert says now is the time to start having conversations about context, as some cities and some states have begun to remove their Confederate statues and monuments. Congress is currently considering the National Defense Authorization Act, which the president has threatened to veto over an amendment requiring the Pentagon to rename 10 Army bases named after Confederate leaders.
Well, today is former Governor Tommy Thompson's first day on the job as interim president of the University of Wisconsin system. Last month, UW Board of Regents announced he would take over the job for outgoing President Ray Cross, who announced his retirement last fall. As part of his presidency, Thompson is creating what he calls a listening post for Wisconsin residents and UW students, faculty, and staff to ask questions and offer ideas. Thompson says the UW system is one of the state's greatest assets.
I'm going to be its biggest advocate, cheerleader, and also its toughest evaluator to make sure we're doing the job correctly.
If you'd like to share your ideas or thoughts about the university system, the listening post is already available online, and we have a link on our website, channel3000.com. Well, still to come at 4 in a normal year, you'd be getting right now to get ready to head downtown for concerts on the square tonight.
Well, it's not a normal year, of course, so just settle in wherever you are, because our series, Concerts on the Square, live at 4 style, is coming up next.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
It's time to celebrate at Furniture and Appliance Mart's Stars and Stripes event. Save up to 50% off all appliances, plus 18 months financing with no minimum purchase, and free doorstep drop-off from Wisconsin's own Furniture and Appliance Mart, inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
Oh my gosh, wow. Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Annette, and I'm an actress. Under eye bags and wrinkles are so frustrating. They're so hard to hide and so hard to get rid of. I came across Plexiderm, and I was so excited. We have a model. His name is Richie, and all he's doing is taking a small amount. It's so powerful. That's all it takes. This 4th of July, in just 10 minutes, you'll look incredible. This is something that you can do in the convenience of your own home. It's a cream. It's a topical. It literally creates an invisible layer that tightens the skin and smooths it out. All you do is gently rub it underneath your eyes, on your fine lines and wrinkles, and it visibly disappears in as little as 10 minutes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. It feels great. Looks even better.
I can't even believe that this worked. I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it, and I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. I'm telling you, it really works.
I thought I might see a little difference, but to see that big of a difference, and you know, I felt something happening, but I had no idea. Like, I have so many dark circles, I have the puffiness, I have the lines. Like, it's amazing. I love it.
I did this to my father at home because I was skeptical. Yes, I admit it. 4 minutes, 34 seconds. The appearance of his under eye bag was completely gone. We were screaming. You have an event, you have any of those moments where you want to feel the best about yourself. I am telling you, the videos that you see on social media and TV are real. This 4th of July is the best time to get Plexiderm for $14.95 and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Salute massive savings at Ashley Home Store's Stars and Stripes event. Save up to 60% off. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. And interest-free financing for 3 years on top of our very best deals. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Investors on Wall Street are aiming to extend a powerful rally as the third quarter begins. The Dow Industrials fell 77 points, closing at 25,734. The NASDAQ, however, gained 95, and the S&P 500 was up 15, hitting a record close of 3,115.
We welcome another soloist of the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra today to Live at 4.
Since you can't attend the popular concerts on the square due to the current pandemic, we're bringing the music to you every Wednesday, introducing musicians that have made Madison's summers so special. Today we meet principal clarinetist Nancy Anderson, playing a piece from a composer that's often featured at the concerts on the square. Here's Maestro Andrew Sewell.
Nancy McKenzie is our principal clarinet and is probably the most senior member of the orchestra. Having joined the orchestra in the beginning of 1984, she has played at every concert on the square since then. She is an integral member of the Madison music community, leading the Oakwood Chamber Players and playing many chamber ensembles as well. She is second clarinet in the Madison Symphony. We're delighted that Nancy has stuck with us all of these years and made such a major contribution to our community.
I'm a native Madisonian, born and raised. Grew up on the west side, did Midvale Elementary, Cherokee Middle School, and West High School. And I did my bachelor's degree in clarinet performance at UW and my master's degree at the University of Michigan. And then I returned and did a Doctor of Musical Arts here at the university. I've been playing with the orchestra since sometime around in the mid-70s. In fact, back when it was still the Madison Summer Symphony. I'm playing Chrysanthemum by Scott Joplin.
Very nice.
Done perfectly. I loved getting an opportunity to get to know them. So next year, when we all get back together again, hopefully, you will know everybody in the orchestra, which will be really fun.
Played every summer concerts on the Square since '94.
Yeah, incredible. That was beautiful.
Congratulations. And next week, we're going to feature one of the lead violinists of the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra. Still to come at 4 today, a 1,000-year-old mill in England has found new life.
It's grinding flour again as a nation under lockdown turns to baking. We'll take you to this historic mill coming up right after Dana's First Warn forecast.
Attention small business owners. Wright & Schulte LLC is currently investigating claims against several insurance companies that may have wrongfully denied business interruption coverage during the coronavirus crisis. If your business is insured by Society, Auto Owners, Erie Insurance, or Germantown Mutual and your claim was denied, or if you have not yet made a claim, you may be entitled to money damages. Call the number on your screen or visit wsclaim.com for a free case evaluation to understand your legal rights.
Incredible deals, huge markdowns, plus free doorstep shipping on everything. What a sale. The 4th of July sale at Slumberland Furniture.
We've got the power. The Power Centers of Madison. Our highly trained service department has the power to keep your equipment running like new. We service all makes and models, from minor tune-ups and maintenance to major overhauls. Our certified mechanics can get your equipment up and running quickly. If you like to fix it yourself, between the two stores, we have the parts you need. At the Power Centers of Madison.
Here's to the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
Now every Toyota hybrid vehicle is available with 0% financing. With fewer stops per gas, Toyota hybrids give you the confidence to go farther. See your dealer or shop and buy online. Right now, you can lease a new 2020 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid for $239 a month.
All from the brand you trust, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
I am crushing this to-do list.
Let me see. Smart home upgrade? Home gym?
Check.
What about the window, siding, and doors?
Cross something important off your list. Free installation on all windows, siding, and doors. And no interest for 1 year. The biggest sale of the year is here.
Free installation ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Take a look at this. It's 92 wet sponges to the face in 1 minute. It's the latest attempt from professional record breaker David Rush. The current record is 76. What? Rush has more than 150 titles to his name, so why wet sponges to the face? He says, why not? The thrower tossed 109 sponges in 1 minute, and 92 hit Rush fully in the face.
Perfect day for that.
You know, I wouldn't mind that.
Well, the person who's throwing the sponges, the brewers better contact him.
Look at him. He's very accurate.
He's very accurate. Yeah.
Guys, we could do this. We could break this. Like, this is a tangible Live at 4 record that could be broken.
Oh, I'd get an eye put out.
All right, so Mark volunteers.
Right.
Susan's tossing. I'll retreat.
I
Penny
tell you,
can
in this weather, I wouldn't mind it.
No, it's true.
It is super hot outside right now. Very, very soupy, very spongy. It's just so humid. We were just talking, though, if you're in the shade with a light breeze, that makes it a little better. If you're a fan of the summer weather, though, then I'm sure you're okay with this forecast. It's sticking around for the next several days. Right now, we do have a few clouds building in, but the rain chances still off to the southwest. We'll take a closer look at a full forecast right after the break.
Now, a WISC-TV editorial with editorial director Neil Heinen.
Here's an idea on which we can all agree. We can still all agree on something, can't we? A statue honoring Vel Phillips, the first African-American to be elected in America to statewide office. Too easily lost in the debate over tearing down or moving monuments and statues some find hurtful, disrespectful, or demeaning is the importance of creating new statues that are historically meaningful and inclusive. The absence of significant markers prominently displayed paying tribute to the contributions of African-American leaders in Wisconsin is disgraceful and embarrassing. Let's have a debate over what existing statues should be removed. It's an important and necessary examination of who we are. But at the same time, let's also acknowledge the glaring gaps in our shared desire to honor those who have contributed so much to our state and our nation. Vel Phillips is an extraordinary and indisputable choice to start that effort.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Nissan is offering non-stop routes to summer.
And now is the best time to get into a new Nissan. Save up to $2,000 bonus cash on select models.
This summer, get back to where you belong, along 60 miles of beautiful wide-open beaches, where family vacations have never been so much fun. With every sunrise and each high tide, the beach is calling you to raise your spirits, make you smile, and bring your family closer together. So stop dreaming and start booking, because we can't wait for you to get here. Visit Myrtle Beach and discover why happiness comes in waves.
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites, and always a smile.
Now I get to make a difference in people's lives the way that the nurses that took care of my grandma made a difference in her life.
Now is the time to change your life. Herzing University makes it possible without leaving home. Herzing offers dozens of online degrees in nursing, healthcare, IT, and business. Start studying online and take the first step toward a new career.
I'm an ICU nurse.
I'm possible at Herzing.
Home is dancing because no one's watching. Home is a reason to disturb the peace. Home is laughter. Home is where heads come to rest. A place to let go, and a place to find again. At Stanley Steamer, we love home, and we know that a clean home is a healthy home. We're ready when you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Nissan is offering non-stop routes to summer.
And now is the best time to get into a new Nissan. Save up to $2,000 bonus cash on select models.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
A lot of people have been talking about how this is the halfway point. We've made it to the middle mark of 2020. 6 months ago, January 1st, it was 40 degrees outside. Things were a little different back in January, and of course a lot different this time last year, but weather-wise, we were in a pretty similar spot in 2019. Temperatures were in the mid to upper 80s. It was a humid afternoon, so not a lot has changed for the weather forecast in the last year, but of course, looking outside, things do look a little different. Right now, looking at our Doppler radar, we don't have any showers in Dane County. A few clouds building in. You can see some light showers just outside of Prairie du Chien and Iowa currently. We could see some of that rain pull a little further east, so there's still a slight chance this evening for an isolated shower or storm along the southwestern corner of the state, but that's not going to be anything widespread, and thankfully we're not looking at severe potential, just a quick drop down of rain, and that's good news because it kind of zaps out the humidity a little bit for the rest of the evening. Our temperatures will continue to stay above average. It's going to be humid outside, sticky, muggy muggy, whatever word you want to stay with. And the humid weather continues through the weekend. Our heat also continues through the 4th of July weekend, warming up a little bit for Saturday and Sunday. So again, the shower chance this evening will be in the southwest corner. Temperatures overnight will be dropping to the mid-60s for our overnight lows. We're expecting partly sunny skies tomorrow with another slight chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon and evening. For Friday, we've kind of upped it a little bit, a better chance to see a shower or thunderstorm, unfortunately, for Friday afternoon, mainly for areas south of Dane County. That'll be something to keep in mind. Again, no real severe thing that we're monitoring right now, but it is going to be a little hot outside on Friday, and when those storms pop up, it does kind of cool things down for the evening. Heat index readings tomorrow will be in the 90s throughout the afternoon, and then as we head into Friday, also expecting those heat index readings in the mid to low 90s. Our temperature trend for our 6 to 10 day outlook and our 8 to 14 day outlook, very likely that we will continue to see temps above average, so we do still have alert days in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be hot outside. A lot of folks will be spending their Saturday and Sunday outside. Please just make sure that you stay hydrated. 88 the high for tomorrow with partly sunny skies. Again, a slight chance for an evening shower or thunderstorm. A better chance on Friday. And for the 4th of July weekend, high temperatures will be in the low 90s both days with chances for rain expected Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday into next week.
Summer in the city.
Very summery, yes.
All right, Dana, thank you.
Thanks, Dana.
There is a 1,000-year-old flour mill in England that's found its modern-day calling during the coronavirus lockdown.
It survived every pandemic since the bubonic plague ravaged Europe. Ian Lee reports.
Time flows slowly at Sturminster Newton Mill. Water from the River Stour has been driving machinery here from as far back as 1016. Heavy stones grind wheat into flour. Demand wasn't what it used to be until now.
Lockdown came along. We had already set up the mill. Within probably about 10 days to a fortnight, we realized that all the local shops were running out of flour.
The mill, largely a tourist attraction in recent years, doubled the amount of flour that it usually produces during the entire summer in just a few weeks.
It suddenly threw the clock right back to medieval times almost, working the mill just as it used to.
Knights in shining armor were roaming these fields when this mill was founded. It survived wars, mad monarchs, and of course, plagues and pandemics. Add to that list the coronavirus lockdown. So how important is the mill today? Ask a local shopkeeper.
Wow, blimey, it's made a massive difference.
Store manager Adam Vincent says folks drive for hours around to get their hands on this white gold dust.
We've not seen demand for flour and yeast like this ever.
The flour shortage also hit nearby baker Stephen Oxford.
We nearly ran out of flour. And this funny old mill down the road that can only produce a few sacks a day at most stepped up, came in.
Which meant he could continue to produce the most ancient of comfort foods.
There is a saying is that when times are hard, people eat white bread. It's a comfort food. It's the original comfort food, isn't it?
Original food, made in the most original of ways. Ian Lee, CBS News, Dorset, England.
That is so cool.
What a story.
Wouldn't you love to see that?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's amazing. The mill says that as long as there's demand, they'll keep grinding out the flour.
But the workers, many of whom are retired volunteers, look forward to getting back to a slower pace.
I believe it.
Medieval times.
Yeah.
There's more to come at 4. When we come back, Dr. Zorba Pastor will be here to talk about the coronavirus pandemic.
And we will be taking your calls as well. Tonight at 5, an update on how health officials are doing contact tracing with COVID-19 patients and why they say it's important to pick up the phone when they call.
From first-time homeowners to empty nesters, new windows provide a connection to the world around us, and that's where we come in here at Mad City Windows. We can install great windows in your home, the Eco Sky windows. With Sky Mirror technology, we're going to give your home an energy upgrade. Custom-made windows, whatever size you need, bay, bow, double-hung, slider, wood grains on the inside. If we don't have the color on the outside, we'll make it for you. And now would be a great time to call during our summer spectacular sale. Get a house full of windows. Listen to this for $29.95. 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. A bonus, buy 7 or more premium windows and get a patio door installed absolutely free. Ask about our virtual online estimate. Call now. Get a $100 Walmart or Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call us here in the greater Madison area right now at 608-338-1616, 608-338-1616. Call Mad City Windows today about our Do More discount. Get a new bath, tub to shower conversion, or walk-in tub and take advantage of special savings. Don't worry about that old roof any longer. You can count on Mad City Roofing to do the job right the first time. And now's a great time to get those old windows out and install new windows from us here at Mad City Windows. The Eco Sky windows. We're going to give your home an energy upgrade. And you can take advantage of the Summer Spectacular Sale. Get a house full of windows for $29.95. $29.95. Zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for 18 months. Look at the bonus. You buy 7 or more premium windows and get a patio door installed for free. Ask about our virtual online estimate. Call now, get a $100 Walmart or Amazon gift card with your estimate. Call us here in the greater Madison area right now at 608-338-1616, 608-338-1616.
I got your back, you got mine. Think about you all the time. Together we can come through. That's what love's made of. When it's made with love, it's made to be shared.
Road closures, slick conditions, poor visibility. Don't let traffic delays mess with your commute. Watch News 3 Now for an accurate first warn traffic report so you know what to expect before you head out the door.
Tonight at 5, Dane County officials have announced a new order for the county that limits gatherings at bars and restaurants. We'll tell you what the order consists of at 5.
Very warm and humid weather could lead to a slight chance for thunderstorms through Friday. The holiday weekend will be hot, humid, and mainly dry. My News 3 Now first warn forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6 with the 4th of July around the corner, why the coronavirus pandemic has led to an increase in fireworks sales. We'll have that story for you tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Madison, sun's out, kind of steamy out there, and it's going to be that way for quite some time. Well, the New York City Public Library's beloved Marble Lions named Patience and Fortitude are donning masks to promote responsible behavior to fellow New Yorkers. Masks have been proven to reduce the spread of coronavirus and is especially important in crowded cities like New York. And we'll talk more about that with Zorba Pastor when we come back.
Welcome to the all-new Dwellings.
Help get you back to it. And here's how with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Expecting you. And I brought you a gift so you can fight properly. Red Bull.
Oh, how nice
Of you.
But also
Rather
stupid.
Mine.
Mine.
No, mine.
No, mine.
Mine. Red Bull gives you wings.
You may not know them. The coffee shop owner who knows your order. The couple who saves your seats. The family down the street who greets you with a smile. They've been there for you. Now you can be there for them. Donate today and help our friends and neighbors keep their power on.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Life I love is making music with my friends. And I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again.
The open road is open again. And wherever you're headed, Choice Hotels is there. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Though challenges surround us, life still goes on. There's still time to dream, still plans to be made. And if you're retiring soon, still deadlines to be met. We talk with people every day who need to replace their employer benefits when they retire. We can answer your questions too, so you can feel good about the decisions you make. For a retirement benefits checklist, visit us online or call Physicians Mutual Insurance Company today.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Dwellings, Madison's best kept $150 secret. Now open in Fitchburg.
Right now we do have an incident, not quite sure if it's an accident, 51 northbound, right at 30 east. The right two lanes are blocked, so traffic is slowly moving past, but coming to a halt right there as the lanes start to merge. So again, that's 51 northbound, right near 30 or north of Milwaukee Street. Otherwise, the rest of the area looks like we're in a pretty good spot. Here's a look at the Beltline at Gammon. A lot of sunshine right now. The roads seem to be dry, but it is pretty hot outside. Drive times from Janesville to the Beltline about 25 minutes, 17 minutes from Sauk City to Middleton, and some Prairie to downtown at 9 minutes this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, thank you, Dana. As we've learned over the past few weeks, the coronavirus pandemic, unfortunately, has not gone anywhere.
It's time to check in with Dr. Zorba Pastor, who's also taking your questions at 270-9933. Zorba, welcome back.
Hi, Zorba. Good to see you.
What are we seeing right now?
Well, what we're seeing is, of course, a spike in the number of cases. But according to the CDC, it may be that there actually are more cases that we're seeing. And if you do an epidemiological analysis, in other words, it's not just that everyone who has COVID actually gets a positive test. Most people don't even know they have COVID. Instead of 125,000 deaths, we think the number of deaths may actually be higher because at the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of people who died of pneumonia actually had COVID, and we didn't really know that it was actually COVID at the time. So instead of maybe 125, there may actually be 150 or 175,000 deaths because we really were not taking that into consideration. In fact, initially, it wasn't even something you could sign off on the death certificate. So the number of deaths is not lower, the number of deaths is higher. And then if we look at the number of people infected, we think the number of people is somewhere near 5 or 10 times as many as picked up. So we're really in the midst of the pandemic right now. It may go higher. That's what we think in the wintertime, but it certainly is much more than we ever thought.
Well, how concerned are you that we seem to be going in the wrong direction?
Well, I'm very concerned, just like everyone else. And I'm concerned because of testing. So what's really interesting is an epidemiologist came out with a very interesting model of how to increase testing. So let me explain it a bit. You batch them. And what you do is you take 10 people who have tests. Okay, there's liquid. You take a swab, you put it in liquid. You test all 10 one time. Okay, so 10 are in a batch. If they're all negative, you now know everyone in that is negative. And all you did was one chemical test. If it's positive, then what you have to do is go back into each one of those individual 10 tests and find out which 1 or 2 people were positive. If we took that approach of batch testing, we could increase the amount of testing dramatically and make it even easier to find the people who have COVID and say, look, you have COVID, you're home for 14 days. And that's the real way that we'll get a handle on this epidemic. And I think that may be forthcoming. Batch testing of the negatives, if one of those 10 is, if it's positive, then you retest all of those, and it would be a very efficient model.
270-9933. Officials in Dane County just today have limited closing the bars, essentially. Do you think that's a source of a lot of the current cases here in Dane County?
Oh, I think that's probably part of it. And the issue is you just have to go out. When I went out a week ago and I ended up grocery shopping, I saw more people in masks a week ago than I see now. And I think to myself, really, why aren't you wearing a mask? It certainly should not be a political issue. I mean, basically, is washing your hands after you're in the washroom a political issue? No, it's a polite issue. And the reality is, I think a lot of people are not wearing masks, not for politics, but because they're lazy. And they go, I don't have to wear a mask. It's really not as bad as people thought. And let me tell you, it's worse than we think. It's not less than we think.
Yeah, wear a mask. It's not a political statement. All right, let's go to
social distance, because social distancing is really the key thing. The mask is secondary.
All right, let's go to Evelyn in Madison. Hi, Evelyn. What's your question?
I just have a question about can I contact our coronavirus?
Go ahead.
Hi. I have a question. If I had a confrontation with a parent where neither of us were wearing a mask, would either one of us able to contact?
Well, if
you mean contract the virus?
Right.
If you were near somebody who had coronavirus, then it certainly is possible that you could have contracted coronavirus. But if you were simply with somebody who didn't have coronavirus, the risk is there. You really don't know about it. And of course, sometimes we come into closer contact with people. So you can't answer that in a very specific way.
Yes, some people have it when they are asymptomatic.
Exactly.
Let's go to Debbie in Middleton. Hi, Debbie. What's your question? Debbie, are you there?
Listen.
Debbie, can you hear me?
Debbie, turn your TV down.
Let's go to Debbie in Middleton. Hi, Debbie. What's your question? Debbie, are you there?
Listen. Hello?
Hi,
Debbie, go ahead.
Can you hear us? Go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to know if you always have a fever when you have the coronavirus?
The answer is no. You don't have a fever at all. In fact, it's thought that at least 50% of the people, if not more, have no symptoms at all. They're just carriers. The virus comes in, the terrorist virus comes in, attacks you. It's just silent. As far as we know, you don't have any symptoms at all, and you pass it on to other people. Now, whether or not you will have complications 5, 10, 15, or 20 years down the road, that's the big question. We know that some viruses actually affect you adversely 20 years later. But yeah, you can have no fever, no symptoms, no sore throat, nothing.
So taking the temperature before you enter a business, is that useless?
Oh, it's a great idea because if you have a temperature, first of all, you're more likely to be sick with anything because you've got a temperature. And if you've got a temperature, the risk of your having coronavirus is higher. Why? Because you've got a temperature. So it doesn't eliminate everyone without a temperature who has coronavirus, but it makes it more likely. People with fevers are more likely to have coronavirus than people without fevers, simply because those people are fighting the disease and may not know it. Once again, you may walk in and they do a forehead thermometer and they've got a fever. Well, they might have coronavirus. And everyone with the fever who goes in a room ought to get tested because once again, it's higher risk, more likely that you might have it, even though that risk is still small.
And what's the level of the looking for the temperature? 100.4 or?
Around 100.4, 100.5. That's the level they're looking at. But frankly, any institution that does it will set their own levels. So they might set, like in our office, the level might be anything over 98.6. In a restaurant, it might be a level of 100. But again, it's not that the temperature predicts that you have COVID. It's that the temperature makes it more likely that you actually have an infection such as COVID, and that's why they want to eliminate you from the restaurant. Because look at the two restaurants in Madison, the Grays, I believe, and the Great Dane. They ended up having having servers in there who had coronavirus. Obviously, they didn't have any symptoms, and now they have to suffer the consequences, figure out how to sanitize the whole thing, and so on.
Well, based on what you were just saying about how you can be positive and not have any symptoms and not know you're infecting other people, would you recommend everyone, whether you have symptoms or not, get tested?
If we could do that, the answer would be yes. We ought to get tested, and we should be tested on a regular basis if that were possible. It's not possible. We do not have the apparatus. We don't have the ability, and if we batch tested and then had more people who were able to do that, we could be tested on a regular basis, and we could actually do it nationally and wipe it out. But the infrastructure is not there. The materials are not there. And frankly, the willingness of the public on a federal level or a state level is not there. And so this thing is going to continue, and that's why we are, I believe, the #1 country in the world with coronavirus right now. Not something we should be proud of at all.
We didn't lock it down long enough? Is that one
we
of the
didn't
issues?
do it early enough, we didn't lock it down long enough, and we still aren't taking it seriously enough. But you can see individuals are. People are lining up left and right to get tested. So a lot of individuals are taking it serious enough. We just don't have a methodology because we haven't come together yet as a society to put it forth. And frankly, the virus really doesn't care what we do as a group or politically, it's going to continue to infect people and continue to kill people. And more will be killed in the wintertime than now because we're going to come inside and spread it to one another because we'll be even closer. And that's the part that, of course, I think we're all afraid of.
Yeah, and we should be. All right, Zorba, thank you. Stay safe. We're out of time. Thanks for everyone who called in. We have a lot of calls waiting, but
sorry about that.
We'll get to them next time.
Yeah.
Right.
Zorba, great to see you. Thanks for your time today.
And we'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
Ready to roll playback?
Hi, I'm Travis Ganser. Looking to update your bath, shower, or your entire bathroom? Ganser is the answer with Bath Creations by Ganser Company.
Schedule your free in-home consultation or visit our beautiful showroom on the Beltline.
A local family-owned business of 4 generations.
Let me introduce me.
Cuts, colors, braids, and fades. We stand for style. Cost Cutter Salons.
#1 in color in Wisconsin.
Incredible deals, huge markdowns, plus free doorstep shipping on everything. What a sale. The 4th of July sale at Slumberland Furniture.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Ganser Company is proud to introduce 80 years in 80 minutes. We give you the skinny in 80 minutes to make an educated decision.
Infinity Windows from Marvin offer a lifetime warranty.
Remember, 80 years in 80 minutes from a local family business of 4 generations.
Tonight at 5, the latest on the officer-involved death in Monona, and Dane County officials have announced a new order for the county that limits gatherings at bars and restaurants. We'll tell you what that order consists of tonight on News 3 Now at 5.
Accurate news as it happens, right here where you live. Information that you can use from the team you can trust. For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now.
We are covering breaking news right now on Madison's north side.
Police say they are investigating a homicide. Our Madeline O'Neill is live on the scene. Maddie, what can you tell us?
Well, right now this area is still blocked off. Police cars, police tape right here on the 400 block of North Sherman. Now, according to police, they got a call at about 2:40 for 2 vehicles. Witnesses say one person inside a vehicle was shooting at the other. Then police say they came here, the 2 vehicles, and they found one person in the passenger seat of a vehicle shot dead. So clearly an active investigation still here tonight. Dane County Police say they're asking Madison Police say they're asking anyone with information to give them a call.
All right, Maddie, thank you. And now here's Dan with the final check of your forecast.
Right now we do have partly sunny skies, a little bit of cloud coverage popping through. Temperatures are in the mid-80s with dew points in the mid-60s with a light breeze right now, so it feels warm outside, but it'll be worse this weekend, so I guess enjoy the 80s while we have it. 88 in Janesville, though. Those dew points, again, in the mid to low 60s for Dane County. They are higher along the western edge of the state, and that's where we will see the chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm to develop. Right now, looks like just along the western edge of Grant County, may see a few more isolated showers over the next few hours or so.
All right, thank you. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, veterinarian Carrie Donahue will answer your pet questions live.
And Consumer Reports says this holiday weekend is a great time to shop for deals for certain items, and you can do it all online. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.